today's video we are going to learn how to make a cargo pocket just like this. Okay, so this cargo pocket you'll find in our Yano backpack pattern that is going to be launching very soon, depending on the time you're watching this video. Maybe we have already launched the pattern. Okay, just love this cargo pocket. The cargo pocket is similar to a pleated pocket. Remember the pleated slip pocket we had earlier on? Check our previous videos if you don't know the pockets I am talking about, but the tutorial is already on our channel. Okay, so this cargo pocket is similar to a pleated pocket, but in this one, in this particular tutorial for this particular pocket, I'm pleating just the middle and one side. Okay, so your pleated pocket or your cargo pocket can be to your left or to your right, whichever one you prefer, but in this tutorial our cargo pocket, or the pleated part of our cargo pocket, is to the right. Okay, so I hope you learn it too from this video, and I hope that you make this pocket in your bags, you add them to your bags, and I hope that this tutorial helps you in building your bag making / pocket making skills. Okay, so with that said, let us get to the tutorial. Just like every other pocket style, you need the main panel, that is the base fabric, and the pocket panel itself. Okay, so here we have two pieces for my pocket panels. You can make this one particular piece, just one piece, but because I did not have enough fabric, I decided to make it two pieces of fabric. Okay, so this is my base fabric. I quickly interface the back. This is just for practical purposes, so I interface this, and yeah, so that the panel has like some stabilization while we're working on it. And for this pocket panel, we have to determine the dimensions that we want, so the height and the width and everything. So how do we determine that? Okay, so because this is a cargo pocket, unlike a slip pocket, we need to add few inches to it when we are drafting out the pattern. So the width is going to be the finished width that you desire plus 1.5 inches. Then the height is going to be ×2 of your finished height. Okay, so the width, once again, your finished width plus 1.5, then the height is ×2 of the finished height. Okay, then you add your seam allowance all around. If you're going to be interfacing, because you need to interface your panels, you need the interfacing to be smaller than the main panel by the seam allowance that you added. Okay, so if I decided to interface this pocket panel, the interfacing would be right here. Okay, would be in this rectangle I drew. Okay, but if you're not using two pieces of fabric like I'm doing, you know that this is not going to be there. This bottom half right here that I put, that this seam allowance is not going to be there, so your interfacing is going to go all the way to, I hope you can see what I'm doing, it's going to go all the way to the middle of the panels, and it's going to be on three sides on one side of your panel. Okay, I hope you all understand what I am trying to say. It's just the regular way we sew a slip pocket if we want to sew a slip pocket. Okay, so what am I going to do? I am going to take this to my sewing machine now, and I am going to sew on all sides, but I am going to leave an opening big enough for me to turn the panel to the right side. Okay, so I'm going to sew all the way and leave an opening to turn to the right side. Okay, so this is it. We have our opening. Okay, I am going to trim. You know the normal routine, guys. We've done this a whole lot of times. I have no interfacing in this, but you know you're supposed to have your pocket panels interfaced, right guys? So when I'm done turning it to the right side, I am going to poke out my corners, then I am going to press everything flat. This has been pressed flat. What I am going to do now is that I am going to top stitch across the top here in order to close the opening that I've got here. So people, I am done top stitching. Now I am going to press like so, So this is just to have a crease at the middle. Okay, you can do this however way you prefer. So I have my middle crease and I am going to do the same here. So now I have the middle crease on the base panel and the middle crease on the pocket panel itself. I am going to keep this aside and I am going to start working on the base panel. So on the base panel, I am going to draw out a rectangle that is going to measure the finished dimension of the pocket. The finished dimension of my pocket is 8.5 by 4. So I'm just going to draw that. So the middle is to the middle of the pocket panel, of the base panel rather. Okay people, this is the finished pocket width all drawn and ready to go. I am going to bring this, which is the pocket panel. Which do I want to be in front? Okay, I want this area to be in front. And what I'm going to do now is that I am going to align the left side of the pocket panel to the left side of the rectangle that I drew. Okay, so this is like this. Now you're going to notice that the middle of the pocket panel does not align with the middle of the base panel. That is fine. Okay, that is what we want. All right, and if you notice, you will notice that we still have extra at this point. This point extends, or the end of the pocket panel extends more than the rectangle that we drew. That is fine. Remember, we added 1.5 inches to the finished width. Okay, so I'm going to align this like so. And I am going to take this to my sewing machine. You can pin this down, okay? Do not forget to use your pins, okay? Then I am going to take this to my sewing machine and I am going to sew from this point right here all the way to this point and back up. So we are stitching down the left hand side of the pocket panel, okay? If the base panel is not properly stabilized, or if you feel like it is light, you can add fusible fleece or decoville light to the wrong sides of the edges. Okay, so you want to have fusible fleece here at this point, at the middle of the pocket panel, and at the end of this point. Okay, so you want to fuse them down in order to further reinforce the pocket panel. Well, I am just going to take this to my sewing machine and I am going to sew according to what I said earlier. Okay, so this is what we've got. Apparently my stitches are not the best today. Okay, so now we have to start making our marks in order to form the pleats. Okay, so here is what we are going to do. We are going to take our tape rule or measuring tool, whichever one, and from this point, from the middle seam, from this middle seam that we've sewn, we are going to mark 1/2 inch like so. Please, I am using a disappearing pen. You want to make sure that you're using a disappearing pen, okay? So now this point is going to be point 1. This is point 1. Now from this mark, we are going to mark another point that is 3/8 of an inch away from the first mark. This is going to be point number 2. And that's that for this side. Now we are going to move at the end, and we are going to mark a point that is 1/2 inch from the end of the pocket panel. So this is our 1/2 inch mark, and this is point 3. And from this mark, from point 3, we are going to have another mark that is 3/8 of an inch away from that point, and this is going to be point 4. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so let me show you guys what I am doing close up. So this is point 1, point 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So now let us start to make our pleats. going to unpin this. So for the first pleats, we are going to pinch 0.2 like so. So we are going to pinch 0.2 like so, and we are going to bring that point to the middle. Okay, so 0.1 is folded inwards. 0.1 is folded inwards, and with that way it forms a pleat. I don't know if you guys can see the zigzag. You can see the zigzag. It forms a pleat. I'm just going to pin that down. If you can use pin, you can use clips to hold the pleats at this area. So that is that for that. Now I am going to move back to this other end, and I am going to pleat, or I'm going to pinch rather 0.4 like so. So I have pinched 0.4, and I am going to bring it towards the end of the pocket panel. Now you're not bringing it to the end like so. It's not going to align like this. No, you're going to make sure that the end of your pocket panel at this point aligns with the end of the rectangle you drew. Now you are going to pinch 0.4 and you are going to bring it like so. Okay, so this pleats. Okay, so the pleats, I made a mistake. The first pleat doesn't have to go all the way to the middle. Okay, it doesn't go all the way to the middle, guys, forgive me. It doesn't go all the way to the middle. Okay, that was a mistake on my end. The first pleat doesn't go all the way to the middle. You're supposed to have a space between the middle and the first pleat, about 1/8 of an inch space. So I'm going to pinch this point and I'm going to bring it to where it is supposed to be. Okay, so now I am going to sew this starting from this point all the way to the end, and it is going to end where this corner is. Okay, after pressing and all that, this is what our cargo pocket looks like. I hope that I get to see you make these pockets in your bags. Please do not forget to engage with this content and join our community on Facebook if you're not already a community member. And this pocket is in the Iyanu backpack that we are going to be having. The Iyanu backpack pattern is going to be launching very soon, and you'll find this pocket in it. Okay, so with all of that being said, see you in our next practice.